5 tips for Dishonored: Death of the Outsider. Death of the Outsider is a standalone DLC that takes place a few months after the events of Dishonored 2. You play as Billy Lurk, Dodd's most trusted assassin. That is, until her betrayal in the Knife of Dunwall DLC. Now Billy's out to find Dodd, who's on his own mission to locate the mystical weapon that could put an end to the Outsider. Now, let's make you a master assassin with these 5 tips.
I need your help.
Like old times?
Tip number 1, difficulty. When it comes to game difficulty, you'll have the usual easy, medium, or hard, but you'll also have a custom option. Here, you can adjust everything from how loud your footsteps are to how easily the enemies can spot you. You can set it so that time doesn't stop while changing abilities, and you can even get rid of saves altogether, leaving you at the mercy of autosaves. Besides the save model, which will lock once you start your campaign, you can adjust these difficulty settings at any point during your playthrough. So, experiment to find the best way to challenge yourself. Tip number 2, approach. The Dishonored franchise has always aimed to let players play through in their own way. You can assassinate everyone you come across, or you can literally go the entirety of the game without killing a single person, or even being seen for that matter. Death of the Outsider is no different. It's insane how many ways you can get into a single area.
We never met. Got it?
Another thing to note is that secret passages are everywhere, so be sure to keep an eye out for them and remember where they are. You never know when you'll need one to sneak past guards, or to get a better vantage point for lobbing hook mines into a crowd of them. Tip number 3, bone charms. In Dishonored, there's no leveling your character, nor your supernatural powers. You become more powerful through items called bone charms. You start off with 5 open slots to place these charms. Then, as you progress, you'll be able to buy 5 additional slots, which I highly recommend making priority number 1. Bone charms offer some amazing perks, like increasing your max health, increasing your jump height, or decreasing void use. There are 3 types of bone charms: regular, corrupt, and black. Corrupt bone charms will contain a powerful trait, but they also come with a negative one, while black bone charms are incredibly powerful and tend to carry more exotic traits. As you progress even further, you'll learn how to craft bone charms. By sacrificing regular bone charms, you'll learn the traits and gain the ability to apply that to a new bone charm too. This is especially useful if you want powerful 4-trait charms, but be careful. The more traits you add to the charm, the higher chance it will gain a corruption trait. Tip number 4, contracts. Each mission in Death of the Outsider has special contracts, which you can find by visiting the black market. Side note, the black market is also a great place to buy supplies, upgrades, and even bone charms. Anyway, these contracts will add tasks to complete while working through the main objective. These could be as simple as picking up an out-of-the-way item or completing the mission in a certain fashion. Because of this, it's best to snag these contracts at the start of the mission. Then, if you complete them, you'll be rewarded once you finish the main mission. If extra coin and bone charms aren't enough incentive, these contracts also help you get to know Karnaca better, offer new approaches for completing an objective, plus they add an extra layer of challenge and fun. Tip number 5, Foresight. Believe it or not, this ability is a game changer. Foresight lets you look around corners and keep your distance while marking guards and enemies. It not only shows their outline, but highlights their sightline, walking paths, and even spots they'll stop at. This is incredibly useful for getting behind enemies undetected. Foresight also allows you to spot bone charms and other useful items through walls. Overall, this is a critical ability if you want to stay stealthy. Dishonored: Death of the Outsider is a terrific standalone DLC, but for those looking to jump into the franchise with this game, be warned. The story is heavily reliant on the first 2 games, as well as their DLCs. But if you've played through those and are looking for more, this standalone is awesome. Plus, it provides a solid close to the Caldwell era of the games. Death of the Outsider is a much bigger game than it seems. Its ability to be played over and over again makes it well worth the price. You can spend hours exploring the world around you, customizing the difficulty to make it even more challenging, or approaching missions from different angles and with different playstyles. However you choose to move through this fascinating game, we wish you good luck, Assassin.